The world is changing, and I have a sense that the coronavirus COVID-19 era will be for us a little bit like 9/11 was. We will measure time from before this date and afterwards, and we'll have to think about the ways in which we regulate our social lives, our personal lives, and how we do many of the things that we took for granted previously. Now, perhaps like me, you are an educator in a school or a university, and you're needing to think about ways in which you can continue to educate and train persons, to teach persons, to share the content, to engage with them around your materials. And I want to offer you just one or two tips, first of all in terms of safety, and secondly then one or two tips you can skip in the video. I'll put the timestamp here to where I share those resources for how you can take your teaching and learning online. But first, the safety tips, just to say, please, it is responsible to try to maintain social distance. First of all, wherever you can, try to go online, limit contact with persons physically so that you can stop the spread of the coronavirus. It happens so easily, and particularly in classrooms, in lecture theatres, on campuses, there are so many surfaces, door handles, desks, computers, the equipment that we use to switch on our data projectors and sound systems, forcing students to come and sit in a class where they have to sit next to one another. We need to be responsible. We have to think about the common good. So wherever you can, please take your classes online. If you have to meet with people in person, make sure that you have no physical contact with them. So no handshaking, no hugs. I wouldn't do any fist bumps. At most, I would say an L bump, as Jimmy Kimmel has it. But I would avoid all physical contact wherever I can. And it is something that is about the common good and the good of others. Just say to people, for your safety and for mine, I prefer for us not to have contact. The next thing that I would say is, if you are not feeling well, please stay home. Don't be a hero, because your heroism might cost someone else their well-being. So if you have any symptoms, if you are coughing, if you have a fever, any of the symptoms of the coronavirus, stay home and make sure that you get tested. Self-quarantine and make sure that you get tested before you return to social spaces. I would also say that it is important, wherever you can, to think of the good of others. So, for example, one of the issues we're trying to think about is that our students do need to be assessed. They have to do tests and exams and presentations. Now, some of those things can be done in ways that are safer and less safe. The fewer number of people that you can have within a confined space, the better. So if you are needing to do presentations or assessments, try to get your students to do so via Skype or Zoom, one of those technologies where they can do it online and connect with you and with others. Even a WhatsApp video call or a FaceTime call, if you have an iPhone, will work perfectly fine. Google Hangouts, we haven't used that for many years, that also works well. Now, for taking your courses online, one of the best resources that you can use is Zoom. Zoom is a free meeting platform with some time limits if you don't have the full version, but it's really wonderful because you can connect multiple participants, you can control the interaction, so switch off participant microphones, allow them to have a chat screen on the side, and you can share the screen of your computer. So you could teach a lecture from your laptop with your laptop's camera on you at some stages, and at other stages sharing your PowerPoint slides or just your screen, a Microsoft Word or Excel document. Another way of doing it is to use Facebook Live. Now, just to say, with all of these technologies, it is wise to check with your institution what they prefer and will allow. Many of your institutions may in fact already have some meeting or streaming technologies which are available to students and to staff. And some of them may have some security and copyright requirements to make sure that you don't share intellectual property too widely. But Facebook Live is one way in which one could, for example, engage with your students. Facebook Live is very interactive, and most people do have access to a Facebook account, which makes it ubiquitous. It's easy to use. So to post a link to your students or to set up a meeting invitation via Outlook to all the students in your class and tell them to visit either your Facebook page or a Facebook page that you've created for your group. You can create a closed group, which means it's not open to the public, where you approve who joins that group, and then you can regulate the interaction on that Facebook. And doing a Facebook live stream is absolutely easy. I'm recording this on my cell phone, on my iPhone, but you can do it on Android as well. All you need is an internet connection. Go onto your Facebook page, you'll see there's a button that says live. Press that and you are live. Anyone who has joined the Facebook live stream, you can see how many people there are, will be able to post questions and to interact with you. And of course, you can do that on your laptop as well. Two other ways that I have to suggest is if you are simply wanting to broadcast information, if you're wanting to put a lecture out there, which, by the way, I won't recommend that. Online teaching is something that requires a little bit of interaction. Even with this video, you'll see you're quite tired, tired of my voice, tired of the unchanging background after a very short amount of time. So a 40-minute or 1-hour lecture really doesn't go down that well. But if that's the best that you can do, then I would suggest that you make use of YouTube. Simply, again, setting up your laptop or your telephone and recording your lecture and uploading it to YouTube is one way to do it. If your institution has privacy restrictions, you can make that, again, an unlisted link so that it doesn't become available to the public, and you send the link for everyone who needs to view it. You send it directly. And the last one, which I've never used myself, but I have seen some people using, is Twitch. Now, this is an app which you can download onto your cell phone, Android or iOS, and it's mainly used by gamers, I believe, to live stream their gaming interactions. But it allows audio, video, and the sharing of your screen. So that's another example. Lastly, just one or two tips about online teaching. Try to make your classes as interactive as possible. So make resources and questions available to students beforehand. Make sure that you provide them with readings so that if there are any concepts that you've dealt with in your lecture that they need to grasp, that they have some resource material in order to read it. Make sure that when you put your video and your readings together, and I would advise you to keep a copy of your live stream if you have done so. So either to set up a second camera to record it or to actually download your live stream recording to your device. Keep it all together and keep it in a simple format. Say to your students, watch this video, do these readings, answer these questions. For those of us who have online learning systems, at our university we have a system like that. Some have access to things like Moodle and others. One of the good things that you can do is just to see how much retention and engagement there has been with your students. So make the resources available in a way in which you can see who has accessed them and who hasn't. Encourage students who haven't to access the materials, but also set up simple little things like a quiz, 2 or 3 short questions, or even a short interaction or poll, so that students feel that they are engaging. I'm not quite as advanced as that, but I know that there are many colleagues who engage in what is known as gamification. They set up aspects of their content in such a way that it becomes something of a game. People go on a bit of an Easter egg hunt and have to try and find various things. Obviously, the more interactive and the more fun you can make it, the better the learning would be. But always support that with the kinds of materials that students will need in order to prepare for examinations, for the writing of assignments, or the preparation of presentations. So I wish you all of the best during this time, and I want to invite you and encourage you to be as safe as you possibly can. Please don't be daunted by the technology barrier. We have access to so many wonderful technologies. They're so easy to use. Facebook Live and YouTube, I think, are the 2 easiest to use, and literally all that you need is a cell phone. So thanks for watching this video. If you would like to, you can connect with me, and I'd love to hear what you're doing, and I'm sure some of you have even far better ideas than what I've shared here. Please let me know in the comments, what are you doing in your classes? How are you taking your learning online? You can do that by leaving a comment here or on Facebook, Dion A. Forster on Facebook, or Dion Forster on YouTube, at Digital Dion on Instagram, or on Twitter, or on my Facebook, Dion, or on my webpage, dionforster.com. So I wish you all of the best and trust that you'll remain safe as you go about your work, and that you'll take care not only of yourself but also of others. Thanks for watching.